Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we are going back to mono black flying, and we are going to be incorporating the changes that came from one of the people, this viewer of the channel, PromKnight. If you are interested in the changes that were made and to see how well this second version of the deck works, stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host. I am the Walrus Cuckoo Kachu, Dr. Yukon SuckIt. Yes, thank you. Film before a live studio audience. Thank you so much. Yukon SuckIt. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck of my own creation called Mono Black Flying. This is V2, which incorporates a bunch of changes recommended to me in the chat, the comments channel of the actual video for Mono Black Flying 1 from a guy named PromKnight. And we're going to see today how well those changes work out. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards super quick. We're going to talk a little bit how this deck should work, and then we will go out and crush some hopes and dreams. All right, so what do we got? We've got Faerie Dreamthief, who is a 1/1 flyer for 1, but you get to surveil when he comes into play, which means you get to determine if the next card you're going to get is worth getting, and if you don't like it, you throw it in the graveyard. When it dies, it's exiled, and you can choose to exile it from your graveyard. I guess that's it. You exit it from your graveyard to draw a card and lose a life. So there's a lot of value that comes from this little fairy right there. Deep-Cavern Bat is such a fantastic card. Flying life leak 1/1, for 2, that's fine. But even more so, you look at your opponent's hand and you exile something until it leaves play. It's like the Cathar that does the same kind of thing. But what I like is it comes out super early. You can kind of pin down the early game from your opponent. And if you do that enough with enough of these Deep-Cavern Bats, they are really stuck. Normally it just delays them a little while. All right, we got creature kill. We got creature kill. There's no restrictions other than the fact you lose 2 life. And we got creature and planeswalker kill. So we got a little bit less of go for the throat, which I'm a big fan of. This guy ends up being a turd in your hand a lot because people put out, what are they called? The artifact creatures. But we've got Infernal Grasps in here making up the back end. So if you keep these for the non-artifacts and use these for the artifacts, you'll be in good shape. More Sheoldred's Art Edicts because it helps take out those pesky planeswalkers. And we changed out the Vampire Interlopers for Voldaren Bloodcasters, which is fantastic because they were flying 2/1s for 2s. This one's a flying 2/1 for 2. The other one couldn't block. This one can totally block. And even more so, whenever the Voldaren Bloodcaster or another non-token creature you control dies, you create blood tokens. Blood, and if you got enough of them, then it transforms into a 3/3 flying. At the beginning of combat, you could turn a blood token into a bat. So there's so much more value in Voldaren Bloodcaster. Big time. Plus, with those blood tokens, if you need them, you can use them for card draw. Falkenrath Forebear. This is a singleton that got in there. What does this thing do? It's a 3/1 for 3, flying, can't block. And whenever it deals combat damage, it generates blood tokens. So we're creating a lot more blood tokens. Sacrifice 2 blood tokens, return Falkenrath Forebear from your graveyard to the battlefield. So great, she's a self-reanimator. All right, cool. Flitting Guerrilla dies. Each opponent mills 2, and you can exile it. When you do, you can return target creature or battle card from the graveyard to the top of your library. So I like this one because it's able to go get these guys and get them staged up for you. Well, we removed 2 of them so that we could put the Urborg Scavengers and the Falkenrath Forebears in there. I'm not sure. I really like the Flitting Guerrillas. I gotta say that all Latin-y there. Because of the fact that they can go get them, but we're going to play it his way because they can. And why do we have the Falkenrath Forebear and the Urborg Scavengers in here? Let's see. Let me see if I can find the quote right here. Because he put the Urborg Scavengers in because they're funny. That's why. They're funny. They're definitely funny looking, just like your mama. But we'll talk about them in a second. Gravelighter, one's been removed. And so we've got these guys come out, and they will force each player to sacrifice a creature, which might just be the Gravelighter. But if something's already died this turn, then you draw a card. And then you got a flying 2/2. So, cool, man. All right, here's the funny guy, Urborg Scavengers. Not a flyer. That's the reason why I didn't include him. I actually thought Urborg Scavengers was a fantastic card. Because he reminds me a lot of Graveyard Trespasser. Whenever he enters the battlefield or attacks, you exile target card from a graveyard, and then you put a Popo counter on him. That's what's even better about him versus the Graveyard Trespasser. But then he has flying as long as the exiled card has flying. The same is true for First Touch, Double Strike, Death Touch, Haste, Hexproof, Indestructible, Lifelink, Menace, Reach, Trample, and Vigilance. So he has the ability to do lots of cool things. So if you really need him to be flying because the other guy doesn't have flying, you can exile one of your own guys if it's dead, at which point he can then have flying. So it's not a bad deal. These guys are pretty decent, except for when there's nothing in graveyards to steal. All right, my favorite, Sword of Once in the Future. Still have 4 of them. These things are fantastic. You put them on your creatures. They get +2/+2 and have protection from blue and from black, which means no bouncing, no taking possession of those guys, and no destruction. Still got to watch out for ossification and white and green and all that stuff, and red. But as long as you guys get big enough, you can, red's not that big of a deal. So great levels of protection. Plus, if they're trying to field like blue or black flyers, you just go right through them. No problem. You can't block, nothing. And you keep your guys back as defense, and then they could just, if it's blue or black in them, they can't do anything. You're completely protected from their guys. And then whenever it deals combat damage, you surveil 2. So that means you get to take a look at the next 2 cards in your hand or your library and decide if you want them or not. And you can cast an instance or sorcery with the mana value of 2 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. And that is all your creature kills. So, man, these are such incredible cards. Archfiend of the Dross, he's on a timer. That's the only problem. He's for 4. You got a flying 6/6. And anytime an opponent's creature dies, they lose 2 life. And your dude has basically 4 turns to be in play, or else he dies. So if you play him and it looks like things aren't going to wrap up quick enough, you better get ready to kill your own dude. That's all I can say. Bloodvial Purveyor, he's a 5/6 flying trample. And if your opponent has blood vials, and he makes ways for your opponents to have blood vials, then he gets +1/+0 till the end of turn for each blood token your defending player controls. So he gets even bigger when he attacks. And the Bloodletter of Aclazotz, flying 2/4. That kind of sucks, 2/4 for 4. But he is a flyer, and if an opponent would lose life during your turn, they lose twice that much life instead. So that means all your little guys are suddenly twice as strong. Archfiend of Dross is doing 12 points of damage, It's just an insane damage, like, doubler. So, fantastic. Bloodletter. And we have the ability to turn creatures from the graveyard back to our hand if we need to, and that's it. That's what we're playing. All right, so what are we going to do? We're going to get a bunch of flying guys. Hopefully they don't have the ability to deal with all the evasion we have. Swords of Once in Future will get out there. We'll be killing their dudes, and then we'll be using the attacks with our guys with these swords to pull these back out to kill even more dudes they have. We don't have the ability to take out swarms if they put out thousands of guys at a time, but hopefully we'll be able to do enough damage flying and then doubling all that to kill them soon enough that we do it faster than they can kill us, which is really what it's all about anyway. All right, that's it. But before we go out and do our thing, let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Dear Black King Toxrill, who dwells within the dark chambers of our hearts, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentation of the women. We're playing against Jeku, Jardani, Jovonovich. An alliteration. Keep. 2, 2, 3, 4. All right. So we got some creature control. We got a cheap knee breaker here. And he's playing blue. play against counter spells like a sucker. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give him a Gravelighter. You're not going to be able to counter him for one. All you can do is bounce your own dude back. Try to pull this toxic BS on me. There we go. Alright, what's he doing next now? Another one? Oh, he's got a copy of her. Thing is, if he blocks the Archfiend of the Dross, then it leads me to a really bad situation. Let's go for the attempted kill there. What does he do? Cool. He's not going to block with it. He'll die. Perfect. Throw an Urborg in there. He's trying to start the whole poison thing up. There, that is rough one. If you can't counter it, you really can't do anything to keep your guy alive. There we go. In your face, Desi Arnaz. Our open against El Gacho. I don't know what Gacho means. 1, 2, 3. Let's get some fairies out there. Actually, I'm going to go full on bat on my next turn. Do I really want another little fairy? I think I got enough of them. Alright, what has he got? What am I taking from him? Reach is not good. Triplet sucks. I'll tell you what, let's just get rid of the triplets. You can get it back when he kills the bat, unfortunately. I can protect myself from blue, but he's got a lot of green. Alright, what do we get as Veil here? Yeah! Well, I guess that's it. Victory! Alright, we played against the Koogan. The Kooganator. 1, 2, 3. Nice curve there. Curve. Keep. Well, let's say hello. Alright, nothing to do in turn 1. This is a weird-ass deck he's playing there. Let's see what he's got in his hand. Sweet googly moogly, people. Well, I guess that is exactly what we don't like to see. We should hold things back a little bit. You want your other one back. Alright, good for you, man. All right, so we can wipe boards twice. Don't worry, I will beat you like a rented mule. What does your bear do here? Turns into a 4/4. Not bad. I need to get some creature removal is what I need to do. I feel like I'm being attacked by something from a Scooby-Doo cartoon. Yeah, all of this land is not really helping right now. Trying to attack, pushing the forward button like a billion times. You want to lose it? Lose the sweeping lookout? I'll put out another. I'm really taking the hits from that bear is really bad. Let's just stop the blood loss as best we can. All right, what can we get out of this here? All right, cool. Oh, he's not going to be around, though. That's much better, though. I'll have to turn this thing back out. All right, let's put out our land. And we got a couple of guys. He's just going to wipe the board if things get nasty. I was going for 2. All right, send in the bear. Send it in. Non-token creature! You think he's gonna get all pissy and start blowing away creatures now? Alright, let's put a little boy out. Look at our future. Alright, whatever. That's fine. See, the more guys he gets out, the less likely he will wipe the board. And then we just got to keep some guys back in our hands so when he does wipe the board, we can start to repopulate. But we got to keep enough back so that when he wipes the board a second time, we can still come at him. Let's keep things a little on the low side there. It's fine. Still, he is getting us much faster than we're getting him, and that is a bad thing at this point. We might have to start chumping his guys while leaving stuff open. See, now we're down to 6. He's still at 13. We'll get him down to 10. Alright, so that's not going to do much against it, but it will stay if the board gets wiped. Let's put it out. Get that guy pumped. Well, that was Grizzly. Alright, so he's invested at this point. In not wiping the board. I can put out 2 guys next turn. If he only attacks me with 1, it'll be awesome. That's the only way he's getting another guy out of the deal. Can't attack with that because it's blowing smoke rings. I think we're lost at this point. I mean, I have to try to blow out everything out here and just defend. Okay, no more guys for you. Alright, all my guys then. 3. Give him flying or something, right? Surveil the future. Nah. Alright, so at this point, if he tries to do it, he'll wipe his own guys out. That'll be fantastic. Of course, he's got something that crews. No attacks. Really, I don't think we don't have any chance of winning at this point. Unless I get out the Bloodletter of Aclazotz, but then what is it? It's 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, then it would be 16. So if we get the Bloodletter out next turn and he doesn't like kill all of our guys, then we win. He did it! He can still kill me right now. Does he know it? You just got to pop out the baby, and then you can crew him up. Oh, the humanity! Alright. Defeat! Alright, we're playing against nofreedom. None. We don't need that crap. 3 mana. Nice to get the Purveyor out. That guy has space. Awesome. One. I'm going to come look at your hand. Invasion enters. You may sacrifice. If you do, target opponent gets rid of sacrificing the creature. I can just get rid of Edgar forever. Let's just get rid of this. Edgar's going to take a while to grow into. Alright, 3. What does that get us into here? Let's put her out. Go in, flying boys. Give me some life. Alright, now I gotta worry about putting the Bloodletter out on the next turn. All right, let's Bloodvial Purveyor. That sounds good. Sitting there at 2 mana, my friend. You got a food token. You getting food for your wedding, apparently? You're getting choked back on your mana. Yeah, but don't you have to sacrifice a creature? Oh, an artifact. Dang it. Let's cancel out. We could use it to bring him back. Is he gone forever? Yeah. He's gone forever. Let's go nuts. That's 12, baby. Down to 6. All right. I mean, if you want to survive, you got to kill at least one of my guys. And it's got to be the Archfiend, because he's going to kill you regardless next turn. There we go. No freedom for you. Victory! Alright, we're playing against SliverOP. SliverOP. Original Predator, I guess. Keep. No dragons. They're a bunch of whiny brats. 2. Nothing to kill. If I could kill pets with this, I'd do it. Get it while it's weak. Not willing to pass anything off to anybody else. Alright, this guy's playing green. Ooh, that's not good. You can start to see reach and death touch, huh? Alright, we'll see what that guy can do for us. Gone! Now you can start ossifying, is that the deal? Yeah, I'm cool. See, green and white are not the colors that the sword protects from. I didn't like that delay that he had in there. I'm gonna go get myself a Reachy Spider. Little death touch, that sounds good too. Ooh, do I get to have the creature kill? Yeah. Oh. Hey, you can here. Just come into the side, lady. There we go. There we go. Suck it, suckerfish. Oh, this is going too well, man. I don't want you to mess it up. Because next time, what I got there? 7. That's 14, baby. All right, tokens. You got 1 colorless mana. Yeah, that's it, baby. Victory! All right, so we are with the updated Mono Black Flying Deck version 2. And it was fun. It was super fun today. I liked it a lot. You know, the funny part was, even though we changed out a bunch of cards, I can't say that it did anything that was all that different from before. I think the big change that I thought was probably the best was changing out the Interloper for the Voldaren Bloodcaster. Yeah, I mean, it's a 2/1 flyer for 2, but this one can actually block and transform into something better. It's 100% better upgrade than the Voldaren, than the Interceptor was before. So I appreciate that. We got the Urborg Scavengers out a bunch. He was all right. He was all right. You could chew your own graveyard up to give him flying, and that's what we're looking for, is a nice evasion. And the fact that he actually grows a little bit, gets his own Popo counters. But still, let's jump right into it. Well, who was my MVP? Who was the card that really changed things for the best, that switched it up from first gear to second gear? It was the Sword of Once and Future. That is such an incredibly cool card that works so well with this deck. My favorite part is that all of the instants and sorceries we have that are 2 or less are all creature kill. Soldier's Edict, Infernal Grasp, Go for the Throat. Yeah, big time. Which means that as long as you touch a creature or an opponent with it, you get to pull one of those back, provided you've already casted it once. Which means we're getting double value out of all of those. What do you got there? 7 cards. Which means we could potentially cast them 14 times. Yeah, the Sword of Once and Future is so good for this particular deck. I just can't believe we're not seeing it played more often. It is so excellent. All right, so yeah, that was my MVP, Sword of Once and Future, the Soph. Let's see, was this deck competitive? I ended up getting an 86%. I played it 7 times. I only lost once. That's 6 wins, 1 loss. Yeah, fantastic, super competitive deck. Absolutely fantastic. I said that twice because that's just how great of a deck it is. Was this deck fun? Yeah, absolutely. What I like about it is the fact that we've got a lot of things to do in turn 1 and turn 2, which means that we are throwing out creatures. We're fighting in the early game. We've got evasion, which means we're doing damage. Yeah, the only thing I didn't like is in the game that I lost, the damage I was dealing with turn 1 and turn 2 creatures was like 3 per turn, and the other guy ramped up to like 4 to 6 per turn. And so in the Cold War arms race of things, I was not racing hard enough. I mean, we got guys that are totally awesome, like those 5s up there, the 4s, aren't they? Yeah, 4s. Those guys are really, really, really good. I just didn't get to them at all. And there's not really that much card draw going on here. Faerie Dreamthief does give you the ability to surveil a little bit. But still, you just kind of, you're stuck with whatever you end up getting. You really are hoping, we're putting a lot more blood tokens out, and blood tokens are card draw. So if you're ever stuck, that's the way to get out of it, is hopefully with all the new blood token generators that we put in here, that we'll be able to use that to card draw our way into the big boys when we have 4 mana. And that's all we need, is the 4 mana to make them work. Archfiend of Dross, Bloodvial Purveyor, and Bloodletter of Aclazotz. The great thing about the Bloodletter of Aclazotz, the fact that it doubles all the life loss, is even if you had 3 wussy guys that were dealing maybe, 2, 2, and 1 would be 5 points. Bloodletter comes out, it's going to cause 10 points of damage. When you'll get 20 life to start off with, that is a huge hit. So Bloodletter coming out, mid-game might be enough to just win the game for you. Doesn't even have to attack himself. He just has to be on the battlefield. All right, so yeah, fun. Was this deck interesting? Well, here's my deal. Yeah, it's a flying black deck. You're not seeing it in the meta. It's an interesting deck. What I like about this is our V2. This is entirely from PromKnight, the changes that were made. And I wanted to see if his suggestions were valid. I thought they were great. Like I said, I didn't see the Falkenrath Forebear do anything. We talked about that a little bit, about what that card does. But there's only 1 in there. And just like Urborg Scavengers, 1 in there. And I don't know. We'll have to see if it's any good. Gravelighter is the big weird guy. I mean, he is a creature kill. He's fantastic that way. And he's just a boring old flying 2/2 guy otherwise. But it does do a little bit of card draw, I guess. You have to play him right. And sometimes you hold him back in your hand. And when you want to be an aggro deck, holding back a creature is not the right move. So, I know that PromKnight had us take 1 Gravelighter out of the deck, so we're down to 3. He was talking about taking out even more. That might be the way to go, but we'll have to see. Maybe in V3, right? All right, so let's add this up. Was this deck competitive? Absolutely. Was it fun? Totes. Was it interesting? Yeah, it was. It was like flying tribal, practically. So there we go, A+. And as I'm required to tell you by federal law, This deck is so choice. I would highly recommend you pick one up, should you have the means. Alright, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Later.